students. So this is continuation of the water pollution. So in the last class, I've explained regarding the water pollution and all, its causes, its effects and all. Then to find a remedy, here is a case study only or in a story I can tell you. So this is regarding integrated wastewater treatment as such. It's an example for the case study how they got rid of the water pollution or the sewage water, how they cleaned up. So in this example, it includes artificial and the natural process. It's an example in the town of Arcata, which is in the northern coast of California. So here, the residents of Arcata, so Arcata people, they were facing with the dilemma of buying an expensive regional sewage processing plant to bring their wastewater discharge into Humboldt Bay. So here the town people, they were in the problematic situation that they want to get rid of the sewage water. If the next of your house, if the sewage water flows, how much it stinks, it may cause disease also. So they want to get rid of it. So they started planning and they were not able to invest a large amount and for planting a plant treatment. Plant treatment means water. Water plant treatment means sewage water has to be cleaned. You have learnt in the 10th chapter in microbes in human welfare, where primary setting and secondary setting for that large installed big aerators are needed, tanks are needed, and it cost too much. So they couldn't bear this expensive. So they planned an integrated wastewater treatment with that of the Humboldt State University, and they created an integrated wastewater treatment process. So these town people they joined their hand with the biologist of the Humboldt State University to treat it with the natural system, with the natural process only they want to get rid of this. And in this process also, in some of the reference books, if you see, it tells in Arcata, a group of citizens, that means they were people of the, I mean, youngsters, usually youngsters of that town, they were gathered together to do something for their town, and they named themselves as a FOAM, FOAM. Like when you make your friends, you make a group, and that group you given a name. In the same way, even these youngsters, they joined together and made a group, and that was called as a FOAM, FOAM. That means Friends of Arcata Marsh. And they also tell this process was after initiated by the biologists, till today it is been safeguarding by these people to youngsters. Means they were the boys or the group of citizens of that town. They are taking care of this which is being processed by the biologists. They are safeguarding this one. So let us understand how they did this. What is the initiative of the biologist in this wastewater treatment? We will know. Yeah, cleaning the project of Arcata, the cleaning occurs in the two stages. Usually, in the first stage, in the first stage means you have learnt already primary setting. In primary setting, what all we get at the primary setting means usually sedimentation, filtering, and chlorine treatments takes places. So, in sedimentation means a large pollutants like plastic, cloth, bigger stones, so all will be filtered, and after filtration it will be chlorine treated. Chlorine treated means to remove the unwanted microorganisms also. So that what they did with the first stage. So in first stage the wastewater, that is complete sewage water, was subjected to conventional filtration, that is filtration, then sedimentation, and it was chlorine treated. Then by this what happens, remaining pollutants like dissolved heavy metals were removed using an innovative approach. Second stage. In the second stage, the biologist developed a series of six connected marshes over 60 hectares of marshland. What do you mean by marshland? Marshland means, see, paddy field, you know paddy field, no? Batta, ಗದ್ದೆ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದು. So like that, marshy areas of 600 hectares were being created. In these 600 hectares, appropriate plants like plants and also algae, fungi, bacteria were seeded into this area. Seeded into this area means they were through the inoculum they were installed into that. Okay, after putting this organism into the marshy area means it will be wetland. If they introduce this all type of algae, fungi and bacteria, what they will do, they will try to neutralize, observe the other pollutants. When the microorganism starts eating, it will start eating all the pollutants from the water, it will remove. So that what you have learnt in the secondary setting, where they will add flukes, no, the microflux will be added. So microflux, when it is added, they create the oxygen, and dissolved oxygen rate increases. When the dissolved oxygen rate increases, that means microorganism are surviving, water will get purified. So this is naturally they did this with the open area with the 600 hectares of marshland. They introduced all these plants, some of the plants, algae, fungi, bacteria were introduced in it. So when the wastewater or the sewage water was left into this 60 hectare of land, all this organism activated on this, and they started to neutralize it, observe it, and assimilate the pollutants. That as the water started flows through the marshes up to 60 hectares, the water got purified naturally. So in this map, you can see here is a Arcata Bay, and this black line, whatever it is been shown here. Can you say? So this is completely of 60 hectares of land they have adopted, and in this 60 areas, this is the Arcata. In Arcata, 60 hectares they selected and made a marshy land. They were not marshy lands. They created the marshy land to purify the water. Then, after the water was purified, the water was being used also by the people. They tell this how they were able to clean the sewage water, and later those water which has been standing, it was also in the form of, many organism were started to develop there, like fishes, animals, birds. So marshes are also constitute a sanctuary with a high level of biodiversity in the form of fishes, animals and birds. So to maintain this, they have to initiate somebody. I told you, know. So the friends of Arcata Marsh, here I have given, see, foam. So they named themselves as a foam. So these guys are doing a great job over there in that area. They are keeping up. So they are keeping and safeguarding of this project. So the people has to be really thankful to the Ambul State University who have brought this project and cleaned the sewage water, and disease also level of disease spreading becomes less, and also there is a growth, development of the high level of biodiversity in that area, where ecosystem will become highly stable. So this how they naturally they controlled the water pollution. So this is a case study how in your area or in your environment you can come forward to clean your own lake or a pond. So by this chapter you can understand how far we have to be sensitive in safeguarding our own environment wherever we are living. So this is an example to show the youngsters how the citizen of a one town are keeping their own environment. So this is a story regarding integrated wastewater treatment. Okay. So next is in the water pollution one, the second one. The second is ecological sanitation. What do you mean by ecological sanitation? Means it is sustainable system for handling human excreta. Handling what? Human excreta using dry composting toilets. So there is no doubt. What is this dry composting toilet? See here picture I have given. This is a toilet which is being constructed. So here what happens in this, see here in this drawing you can see okay, this is the steps which are being given. Here toilet is initiated. Usually it will be a western toilet. So in this western toilet, here the flush box will be there inside. In this flush box, there will be ash, and the man enters here, he excretes here, and there will be having, with the water. If we flush on this excreta, there will be flushing with the ash, budi. Ash, okay. The flush won't be with the water. The flush will be with the water, ash. So as the ash falls on the fecal matter, here it will be having a pipe and it will fall into this pit. So here it will be collected in this pit, and later it will can be used as a manure. Okay, a very little small amount of water will be initiated for cleaning, but the flushing will be done with that of the ash. When the ash combines with the human excreta, it forms a natural fertilizer, and that can be used for the plants also. So this is called as ecosan or ecological sanitation. So here you can see ecosan cycle I have shown. So here a man enters to excrete, and that excrete becomes a compost, and that compost is used for the plants and for the agricultural purpose as a manure, and you can see. Okay, so this is regarding the ecological sanitation. This is practical, hygienic and efficient. These toilets are called as a dry composting toilets. Instead of, I'm telling, no, instead of water they use what? Hash flushing, not water flushing. Hash will be flushed. So human excreta can be recycled into the resources as a natural fertilizer. It reduces the need of the chemical fertilizers also. They are called as eco sand toilets. It is used in nowadays in Kerala and Sri Lanka. Then whatever this toilet is installed here, after this is completely filled, this pit is completely filled, again they remove this toilet, keep in another place of the same field. Okay, in the another place of the same field, again by another 6 month or 8 month it will get manure. Again they will remove that toilet and install in one more place. So this how they get a natural fertilizers for the plants also. This is called as ecological sanitation. So the eco-sand toilets were being used by the Kerala and Sri Lanka, but in India it is not initiated, but it is a quite good plan to get rid of the sewage water, minimizing the water consumption also. So lastly of this water pollution, so the government of India has passed the water prevention and control of pollution act in 1974 to safeguard the water resources. How far you can safeguard, we can see in our own place also. In the riverbed, in the riverbed they wash the vehicle, in the same one side the people will be taking bath, another side the women will be washing clothes, and in the there also the factory outlets will enter into the riverbed. Is our riverbed cleaned? Huh? Can we tell our riverbed is cleaned? No. So we have to take care of all these things and get rid of the water pollution. Only we can live happily in our own environment. Okay. So the next topic we will learn, up to here we have learned regarding water pollution. The next topic is solid waste. Okay, so that is waste and their effects. In this topic, we will be learning regarding the solid waste. Waste, whenever we think only, we feel so dirty. But those dirties are being made by us only. The effect also is attained by us only. See, solid waste. So solid waste, when we refer to everything that goes out in trash. What is solid waste? Means that is the garbage. Mainly we can tell another word is what? Garbage. It refers to everything that goes out of a trash. Whenever we come across the solid waste, usually in the morning when they come to collect the garbage, they tell us to divide ourselves the dry waste and the wet waste and give us, so that recycling will be easier for them. So here solid waste means the trash or the garbage. So human society generates a huge amount of the solid waste every day. So no huge amount every day. You can see there will be lot of garbage accumulation every day. Every day the man comes to collect near the door for us, ringing the bell. So we can understand how far in one house, if we have so much of a waste we throw out, how much of garbage accumulates. If the garbage whatever we are using, if we think about that I think so pollution level may go down. What is we should think? We should think is that we should use or minimize the use of plastic. Okay, so all the waste that we generate can be classified into three types. Is already I've told you. One is biodegradable, that is vegetables, fruits might be waste, kitchen waste. All those comes under biodegradable, which can be activated by the microorganism, converted it into compost. Recyclable also, some of them can be recycled. Non biodegradable means again it comes to plastic. I will define it very clearly. Coming to biodegradable or temporary waste means they are the waste which can be degraded by microorganism, and their effect on the environment is only for a brief period. It will not take what do you think, it will not cause poison for the human being, because it will be activated by the microorganism. So it will not cause any effect for so far, such as kitchen waste, vegetables, fruits, flowers of leaves from garden, or the paper waste. This all can be recycled or digested by the microorganism. Coming to the non-biodegradable or permanent waste, they are the waste which cannot be degraded by microorganism. Even microorganism cannot eat it, and it remains in the environment for a long time. When it retains for a long time, it includes toxic waste like old medicines, paints, chemicals, bulbs, spray cans, no fertilizers, pesticides, containers, batteries, shoe polish, e-waste, floppy disk, that is computer e-waste means all computer waste, CDs, batteries, etc. Can be degraded by microorganism? No, they are permanent waste. Then recyclable waste means these are the waste that can be recycled or reversed, like paper, glass, some of the thin plastics and metals, and it can be reused. Okay, these are the three types of waste that we generate. Okay, next coming to the solid waste. The solid waste is classified into municipal solid waste, and one more is electronic waste. So municipal solid waste. What is municipal solid waste means? The waste from the homes. Municipal solid waste means waste from the homes, office, stores, schools, hospitals, etc. They are collected and disposed by the municipality, so we call it as a municipal solid waste. All solid waste cannot be completely burnt. Open dumps serves as a breeding ground for what? Rats and flies. And breeding for flies means, can you imagine if the garbage accumulates? See in this picture, if the garbage accumulates, and here you can see the accumulation of the garbage. Breeding place for flies means mosquito. For when the mosquito breed more and more, definitely you know what type of diseases can occur: dengue, malaria. All this are the disease which occurs by literally by the open dumps. Open dumps means, see here he is dumping here. So whatever the garbage is collected from house to house, he gets it and dumps in one place. So this place, if it is near to the residential place, it is very dangerous. This is what happening nowadays around us. Okay. So solid waste, if it is dumped in a sanitary landfills. So what are these sanitary landfills? Do you have an idea regarding sanitary landfills? So sanitary landfills or a dumping ground. It is a site for the disposal of solid waste by burial. Okay, either burial after compaction. After the compaction means they will break it into pieces. Then they will bury in a open area and they will cover that with mud. So, not really much of the solutions will be there in that, since the amount of garbage generation, especially in the metros, metropolitan cities and all, it will be quietly increased. So this site getting filled too much also is very dangerous thing, because the seepage, as you go on dumping in one, you dig a pit, you go on dumping the garbage in that, and after dumping, what happens? It will undergo seepage and there will be flow of the chemical liquids which again enter into the water table. If it enters into the groundwater table, see, groundwater table, it will affect our drinking water. See, if you have put a bore in the house, so this garbage which seeps down with the chemicals, that will flow slowly into the water table, groundwater table, and the from the water table only we extract the water for the houses and all household purpose. So if you use such water, of course we may get into troubles, or we may get the disease also. So this is sanitary landfills are substitute for open burning dumps. In this, waste are dumped in a depression of trench means that only here trench means that only like a pit like, and then it will be covered with again mud or dirt. So that what we call it as a sanitary fills. So sorting of garbage is done. Later, it is dumped into the dumping yard, where in the dumping yard you find this sanitary landfills. Okay. So here after dumping, you can see there is some limitation for the landfills. What are the limitation means? Amount of garbage, especially in metros, has increased so much. I told no that these sites are getting filled too. There is no place only. It's usually in city side. They tell where to dump the garbage. As the population increases, even garbage increases. So there is no place to dump the garbage only here. And as they go on dumping, due to the adhering, that what we call it as, down you can see below the, you go on pressing the garbage in that landfills. What happened? There will be liquid flow. The chemicals will flow down. I told no, from the landfills and pollutes what? Underground water. This is what. Okay. Okay. The solid waste, as I told you, it is classified into three: biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and recyclable. And eco-friendly packaging can be used instead of plastic, like carrying cloth, natural fiber carry bags. This, whatever I have written, you would have been heard early in the morning as a song only. No, but it is they sing, they tell for our sake, we don't think only. They tell and they go, we will throw the garbage, we will use the plastics. Now how to avoid the plastics? We tell in the words to avoid plastic, but whatever we are using nowadays in our household, everything is plastic. Early morning we get up with the plastics. That means what? With the brush, toothbrush, whatever we use is a plastic, right? The most of the items in the house we use is a plastic. So how to get rid of plastic? Again, we go to a shop, buy anything. That is also we can, that so seller also gives plastic, or whether we get the plastic cover back. So instead of that, we should carry the cloth bags. We should find natural fiber carry bags we should start using. At least by us, if it starts looking at us, people will change with things. But in some states of India, the purely they have banned plastic. Nowhere plastics are used, and especially plastic covers. Okay, carry bags. That is a main pollution, it seems, which because it cannot be it cannot be digested, it cannot be degraded. So using plastic is also very danger for the future generation. Okay, coming to the hospital waste here, in the hospitals also either the glass waste or the mere thick plastics waste only will be more. So hospital waste contain a disinfectant, the harmful chemicals, pathogen that is still more dangerous. Here you can see the blood packet and all. And if it is dumped for many years, of course, it will cause disease for the nearby resident people. No, hospital waste will start stinking. Those bandages with what do you tell, wound, blood, unimaginable pathogenics will also arise over there. So such hospital waste should be disposed by using a incinerators. Incinerators means, see, this is only incinerator where they burn it. So how far incinerator are used in a small towns? They go and dump in one place where the people don't exist, but it's still there. If there is animals or any type of birds or organism existing in such places, will naturally die. If they survive, it is great thing. But the usual trend, usually in cities and all, they implement the incinerators where they burn it and then throw into the garbage. Usually every hospital should be having these incinerators. Their waste they should only burn, and the burned ashes if they throw into garbage, that is a great thing. That means they are ready to control the pollution level. They are giving a hand for a solid waste to control. Okay. So e-waste. Coming to the e-waste. What is e-waste? Electronic wastes. So you can see dumping ad of the computer, old computer. So now there are new types of computers coming over. Okay. So this computers should be also undergone incineration. That is also a best remedy, I feel. Nowadays, what happens? There is a export of e-waste everywhere. So e-waste are these are all irreparable electronic goods. They are buried in landfills. Burying in landfills means it cannot be degraded. So I feel it has to be incinerated. Incinerated means they should burn it off. Incinerated. So recycling is the only eco-friendly solution for the treatment of the e-waste. But during recycling, the workers are exposed to the toxic substances present in the e-waste. For example, I can tell you, near our house, if they buy these tires or any plastic, the fumes which comes out of it, if you inhale that fumes also, they may get bronchitis problem. That is also merely a bad smoke which will pollute and it will cause air pollution. To get rid of solid pollution, okay, we will acquaint the air pollution if you start burning also. So it has to be done in unresidential areas, and the people workers exposed to these substances, they should take care of. Okay, so nearly over half of the e-waste is developed, and you should be knowing that most of the e-waste from the other part of the world, it is exported to India. See here, three names we have given. Which countries? China, India, Pakistan. This is like they will export, means their house waste if they keep, they'll get disease. So they will export to people other countries. So that this country people, they don't have head only. Why do they should purchase all these things? You say get mint money. So they purchase this and they get those. What is that, waste and dump in a place, whoever dies, so what happened for them, they are in a safe place and they get money. This is what happening with in our country also. Most of the outer foreign countries waste are there. It is coming in the tankers in the air. I mean, I'm telling in a transportation only. They come in the transport. It is transported, and those waste are dumped in our place where people are dying due to the exposure to this e-waste only. So they were many, but they also given a reason by this exported e-waste they are able to get some of the metals such as copper, iron, silicon, nickel, aluminium, also gold also. So they are recovered during recycling process. This is one of the advantages. Then advantages, there are many disadvantages also. No, we will see to that. So, if this e-waste undergoes combustion and incineration, it is good, but it has to be done in a place where residential areas are not there. What is this combustion and incineration means? I told it is a process of burning the waste at extremely high temperature, destroying the chemical compounds and disease-causing bacteria. These ashes are used in landfills and road construction. This is one a good idea. Combustion and incineration are done in the electricity equipment. Okay. So this is regarding the combustion and incineration. Should be knowing regarding kabadi walas, or they are called as a rag pickers. They really do a great work, because what they do, they are the people who are meant for sorting of the garbage. So they help in recycling and separation of the garbages also. So next slide, we'll move it. Okay. So regarding solid waste, there is a case study. So this man, he found the remedy. Okay. He finds a remedy for the plastic waste. See, dumping the plastic waste for many years means, I'm telling no, we are bringing back the diseases for our future generation. So he was a person to come forward and find a remedy for the plastic waste. His name is Ahmad Khan. You should be very happy, because whenever I used to explain this chapter, I used to talk about Ahmad Khan. Ahmad Khan is an Bangalorean, and I haven't shown our students his photo. So you are very lucky enough to see him in this slide. I have shown his photo, Ahmad Khan. So Ahmad Khan is not an engineer. Okay, he is not an engineer. He is a plastic bag manufacturer and was finding a ways to dispose the plastics in which is the most harmless, in a very much harmless manner. He wanted to do this project. He comes before his research leads to the discovery of a better road topping material. Road topping material means would have been heard, topping of the roads are being done, means repairing of the roads, what we call it as road tapping. If there is an pit open in a roadside and all, what do? They put the cement. Our roads also would have been seen. If the rain comes and the water stands there, and the next day they put the mud up on the cement. So he wanted to find a remedy for for a road also, and use the plastic also. So he finds through the plastic a road tapping material, reusing and non-degradable waste it is. So he find a material that is, it was called as a bitumen. So here he will prepare what it a type. He develop a mixture, and he developed polybend. It was called as a polybend. It is a, what is polybend means? It is a fine powder of recycled modified plastic. See here. Okay, so that what we call it as a polybend. Down we are seeing now, this is polybend. So this was a modified plastic. So this polybend was mixed with the bitumen, and it is used to lay the roads. And it challenged also, and nobody will accept, because he was not an engineer or an any other what do you tell studied man or a biologist or a pollution control board fellow. So who will accept his project? Nobody will come forward to accept his project. But here you should be knowing he developed a polyband, which is a fine powder of recycled plastic. I told you he mixed with the bitumen and made a mixture ready to lay the roads. So after he did this, he approached RV College of Engineering. RV College of Engineering. It is in Bangalore City Corporation, and with the hands of the Bangalore City Corporation people. So then he proved that the blends of the blend and bitumen, okay, and he mixed the mixture when he used to lay the roads, enhance the bitumens. Here what means the mixture which he prepared, okay, the bitumen, how it worked means here have given the blend of polyband and bitumen enhances the bitumen's water repellent properties and helps to increase the road life. Okay, it started to increase the road life. See, if he puts that on the road, he was guaranteed that nearly 5 years the road will nothing happen, even a small opening will not occur, no need of tapping every year or putting cement. So it was so thick. If this is accepted, yeah, you know what will happen. Nobody is ready to accept, because we see once in 5 years government change and they will lay the road. So that will be missing if this fellow is allowed to put the road. So but he challenged himself, and he had laid, in 2002 he constructed nearly 1200 kilometer of road, but nobody paid him. He did on his own in Bangalore city using the waste plastic. More than 40 kilometers of road in Bangalore has already been laid, and those roads are permanent roads. Nothing has happened to those roads also. The raw material for creating polyband in any plastic film waste. So against the price of before and all, the rack pickers were given 40 40 paisa per kg. The rack papers were given for the plastic, and he made the Khan, Ahmad Khan, he challenged himself and he started to offer nearly rupees 6 rupees for a kg of plastics. So this how he was able to accumulate many plastics waste, and innovatively he prepared the polyband mixed with the bitumen and laid the road. So we have to thank him for his research, because he has laid nearly 1200 kilometer of road and made it successfully. So if he comes to our place and lay the road also, we feel very happy. These roads are sometimes permanent roads which cannot be eradicated so easily. It is quite thick than the tar heatals. So this was done by Ahmad Khan to control the plastic waste. So this is a case study. So in every pollution, if you study the causes, the effects, there will be a case study to study. That means how people are interacting to get rid of the waste, so that we also join in a hand and tell we will also do something for our environment and control the pollution, either it is solid waste, water waste, or the air pollution. We try to do our part. That what you youngsters has to think. Okay, so here children, I have given the slides. It is just the NCERT only. The slides also you can write down like the notes in your book and maintain it. So that's all for today's class. In the next week, with another 3 videos, I will come over and try to write the notes and also question answers. So it will benefit you too much for your examination, because almost whatever I have put the slides, all are important like notes they are. Try to write down. Okay, thank you children.